Hey, how's it going, everyone? Desi here. Hey, it's been a long time since I posted, but I'm just trying to enjoy the last bit of summer, I guess, that we got going on here in Missouri. I was thinking about something today, and I was reading this ancient parable that said that this Buddhist monk he come across this raging river, okay, and so he builds a raft with sticks and logs or whatever, and all the little string that he has and cloth, and he finds his way across this river. And after he does, he decides like, oh wow, this boat has been so good for me. Maybe I need to carry it with me because it served me so well. And then, as he's carrying it on his back, this raft becomes a burden. And so it's like the basically the parable is some things in life are going to be good for you, and they're going to help you in your journey, but we also have to learn to like let these things go, because at the end of the day, you don't want to be some of the things that have worked for us in the past are not going to work for us in the future. We might need a boat then, but we don't need a boat now. We're on land and we're conversing or traveling or doing things differently, and so it's beautiful way of kind of looking at things is like what served you in the past is not always going to serve you in the future, and to like hang on to like mindsets or strategies maybe that we had as like kids, or as we're growing up through life. We all create like certain patterns that make our life comfortable, I guess you would say. But we have to learn to like let go of these things, and to be able to move forward and to find new ways to adventure through life, so that we're not holding on to something. I think the best things in life are really like when they're experienced freely. That's just with relationships, or anything you do. Everything that's experienced in the moment and freely is always going to be better than something that's going to be like from like the past and be like, okay, we got this, we're going to do it this way, we're going to do it that way. And so you're putting like limitations on it, or you're maybe expecting it one way or the other. And when you have no expectations and you just kind of like forge through life, uh, without maybe a journey or a plan. I mean, I think it's okay to plan it, plan your life to a certain effect. And, we all, have like our goals and stuff that we want to achieve. But I also believe that there has to become like a mindset of like seeing your end goal and just having the faith that the day is going to take you there, as long as you're like, you know, doing whatever that goal entails that you're trying to do. You can't live by like a certain standard or sheet of paper, or ideal of like, how is this going to bring me there, and why not? Because when you do that, you're really stopping the creativity of the universe from like helping you. Because the universe knows way better than you do. uh, like my ping's a little crooked, but whatever, it's a wave. Um, so I think, I don't know, that's just what I wanted to talk about. Is like, the when people talk about faith, I think they have like different understandings of it. And I think when I talk about it is kind of from like the manifestation like way of looking at it, is like you have like your end goal, that you're seeing, and that you're dreaming into manifestation. But then you have to say that, it is so, or it's done. And then you have to believe that the universe is conspiring to help you to get there. And when you do that, I think the universe really does help you to get there, because that's true faith. You're not trying to force things to happen this way or that way. You're really trusting in the universe, and when you do that, I think beautiful things do happen. And you ain't got to take my word for it. You can you could play with it, yourself, and see how it goes. But I notice when I try to force things, or try to make things happen, it never works out as smoothly as it does as when I like release things, and just be like, okay, this is where I want to go, and I know I'm going to get there. And so you kind of release the outcome to the universe, and beautiful things happen. I think if you give that a shot, it'll surprise you in many ways. And it's surprised me in a lot of ways. And when you start doing that, you really start to begin to trust, and you really do release like fear and anxiety, and like all these things that like we feel as human beings and creatures on this planet. Because once you can start living from like faith, you really do like just put the outcome into the universe. And when you do that, it really does take like the pressure off yourself. And not to say you're not going to do anything. It's not to say that you're like going to set the skull and you're going to just like sit on the couch all day. No, because when you're like have this goal set in mind, you're going to be moving, but you're going to be moving with intention, and you're not going to worry necessarily about the outcome. But your body and mind is already going to know how to move. And so I think that's where true faith comes from. So anyways, I think this is going to be just a short, quick video. It's been a while since I've been on here. I'm going to try to get back on here more, post more of these videos. But it was something I was reading tonight, and about that parable, and thought that was really beautiful, and just wanted to share that with you guys, and hope that you get something from that, and we can continue to make this world a better place together, because no one wants to live with fear and anxiety throughout their life. I've lived with anxiety a lot throughout my life, and to be able to finally start releasing these things and not worrying about it, it's not easy. None of this stuff ever is on this path. But once you start doing it, and you start seeing it like really like play out, like magic really does happen. And then you're like, wow, you didn't know that, and it happens better than what you ever think it could, and so like things just start like manifesting, and it just it really does become like a magical, wonderful world. And I just want you all to experience that with me. So anyways, I hope you're having a wonderful night. It's a beautiful Saturday, just here chilling at the place, but I love you all, and like I always say, let's make this world a more beautiful and better place together. So thank you.